What if I told you that every single night, while your body lies motionless and your mind thinks it's dreaming random nonsense, your soul is actually traveling through dimensions of reality that most people never experience while awake? What if those strange dreams you can barely remember aren't dreams at all, but actual journeys your consciousness takes to realms so profound that your waking mind can't fully comprehend them? Edgar Cayce, the legendary sleeping prophet whose psychic revelations astounded the world, didn't just see into people's past lives and health conditions. He discovered something that governments and religious institutions have kept hidden for decades: the true purpose of sleep and what your soul really experiences during those 8 hours when you think you're unconscious. And what he revealed will either transform how you see sleep forever or make you afraid to close your eyes tonight. Because here's what nobody tells you. Sleep isn't rest. It's not downtime for your brain. It's not just physical recovery for your body. Sleep is when your soul goes to work, traveling to spiritual dimensions, receiving cosmic downloads, meeting with guides and departed loved ones, and accessing information that could revolutionize your waking life if you knew how to remember it. Have you ever woken up feeling like you've been somewhere important but couldn't remember where? Ever had a dream so vivid and meaningful that it stayed with you for days, even though you couldn't quite grasp what it meant? Ever felt like you were living a completely different life during sleep, only to have it vanish the moment you opened your eyes? That wasn't imagination. That was your soul showing you glimpses of where it really goes every night. Stay with me, because what Edgar Cayce revealed about your soul's nocturnal journeys will either finally explain those mysterious experiences you've been having, or awaken you to recognize spiritual adventures you never knew you were taking. If you've already had experiences during sleep that felt more real than reality, prophetic dreams, visits from departed loved ones, or insights that changed your life, drop a comment and let me know. And if you're ready to discover the hidden purpose of your sleep and what your soul is really doing for 8 hours every night, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We're exploring mysteries that could transform not just how you sleep, but how you live. Now let me take you into the forbidden vision that Edgar Cayce had about what your soul really sees while you sleep. The Great Deception. It all begins with understanding what Edgar Cayce called the Great Deception, the massive lie that modern science and society have told you about the nature of sleep and consciousness. You've been taught that when you fall asleep, your consciousness simply shuts down like a computer going into sleep mode. You've been told that dreams are just random neural firings, meaningless stories your brain creates to process the day's experiences. You've been convinced that sleep is nothing more than biological maintenance time when your body repairs itself and your mind rests. But what if everything you've been told about sleep is wrong? Cayce discovered something that would terrify the institutions that want to keep humanity spiritually unconscious. Sleep is actually when you become most conscious. It's when your soul finally breaks free from the limitations of physical existence and accesses its true multidimensional nature. Every night, while your body lies still, your soul embarks on journeys that make your wildest waking adventures seem boring by comparison. You travel to spiritual dimensions where time and space work differently. You visit realms where thought becomes instant reality. You access libraries of cosmic knowledge that contain the answers to every question you've ever wondered about. And here's the most shocking part. You're not alone on these journeys. Your soul meets with other souls, some in physical bodies like yours, others who have transitioned beyond physical existence. You participate in what Cayce called soul councils, where important decisions about your life path are made. You receive guidance from spiritual teachers who have been overseeing your development across multiple lifetimes. But then morning comes, your alarm goes off, and a cruel mechanism kicks in that Cayce called The forgetting, a protective veil that drops over your memory, blocking access to most of what your soul experienced during the night. Why does this forgetting happen? Because your waking mind isn't equipped to handle the full reality of your soul's multidimensional existence. If you remembered everything your soul saw and experienced during sleep, you might never want to engage with physical reality again. You might become so overwhelmed by cosmic knowledge that you couldn't function in ordinary human society. So the forgetting protects you, but it also keeps you spiritually unconscious, unaware of your soul's true nature and capabilities. Most people live their entire lives never knowing that they're cosmic travelers, never realizing that they have access to dimensions of existence beyond anything science has discovered, never understanding that sleep is actually their soul's most important daily activity. But some people like you, who are drawn to explore these mysteries, are ready to pierce through the forgetting and discover what their soul really does during those 8 hours of supposed unconsciousness. And the first step is understanding the different dimensions your soul visits every single night. The realm of memory. The first dimension your soul enters during sleep is what Edgar Cayce called the realm of memory, a vast spiritual library where every experience from every lifetime is perfectly preserved and accessible. Have you ever had a dream where you were in a place you'd never been, but it felt completely familiar, where you seemed to know people you'd never met or understood things you'd never learned? You weren't creating fantasy scenarios. Your soul was accessing its memory banks from previous incarnations. In the realm of memory, your soul reviews not just your current lifetime, but all the lifetimes you've ever lived. It sees the patterns that connect your experiences across centuries. It understands how challenges you're facing now relate to lessons you were learning in ancient Egypt, medieval Europe, or colonial America. This isn't just passive observation. Your soul actively processes these memories, looking for insights that can help you navigate your current life more consciously. It identifies recurring themes, unresolved issues, and opportunities for growth that you might not recognize while awake. Sometimes, your soul brings back fragments of these memory reviews as dreams. You might dream about being in historical periods you've never studied, or have unexplained knowledge about places and cultures that fascinate you for no logical reason. These aren't random mental wanderings. They're actual memories your soul is sharing with your conscious mind. But the realm of memory contains more than just your personal experiences. It's connected to what Cayce called the Akashic records, the cosmic database that contains the history of every soul's journey through eternity. In this realm, your soul can access information about anyone you've ever been connected to across lifetimes. That person who irritates you for no apparent reason. Your soul might discover that you were best friends in a previous incarnation and are working out some unfinished emotional business. That place you've always longed to visit? You might find that you lived there for multiple lifetimes and your soul is homesick for experiences you can't consciously remember. The realm of memory also allows your soul to understand the greater purpose behind your current life circumstances. Why you were born into your particular family, why you've faced specific challenges, why certain opportunities have appeared at exactly the right moments. All of this becomes clear when your soul can see the bigger picture that spans multiple lifetimes. Some people naturally remember more from their visits to the realm of memory than others. They wake up with profound insights about their relationships, sudden understanding about their life purpose, or clarity about decisions they've been struggling with. They might not remember the actual journey, but they carry back the wisdom their soul gained from accessing its eternal memory banks. But the realm of memory is just the first stop on your soul's nightly journey, because there's another dimension where your soul goes to receive information about the future. The Hall of Possibilities. The second dimension Edgar Cayce revealed is the Hall of Possibilities. a realm where your soul can see potential futures and participate in choosing the path your life will take. This might sound like science fiction, but think about it. Have you ever had a dream about something that later happened in real life? Ever dreamed about meeting someone before you actually met them, or saw events unfold in dreams before they occurred in waking reality? You weren't having psychic experiences. Your soul was visiting the Hall of Possibilities and glimpsing probable futures based on the choices you're currently making. In this dimension, time doesn't work the way it does in physical reality. Past, present, and future exist simultaneously. Your soul can see how current decisions will play out weeks, months, or even years into the future. It can explore different potential timelines based on various choices you might make. More remarkably, your soul participates in what Cayce called future creation councils, where you actually help choose which possibilities will manifest in your life. You're not a passive victim of circumstances. You're an active participant in designing your future experiences. During these councils, your soul meets with spiritual guides who help you understand the implications of different choices. They show you how various paths will serve your spiritual growth, how they'll affect your relationships, what lessons they'll provide, and how they'll contribute to your soul's overall evolution. Your soul might see that taking a particular job will lead to meeting your future spouse 3 years later. It might understand that moving to a certain city will put you in position for a spiritual awakening that transforms your entire life. It might recognize that enduring a difficult period now will develop strength you'll need for service opportunities that are coming. Sometimes your soul brings back warnings from the Hall of Possibilities. You might have disturbing dreams about accidents or problems that could occur if you continue on your current path. These aren't predictions of inevitable events. They're your soul's way of alerting you to potential dangers so you can make different choices. Other times, your soul returns with inspiration and encouragement. You might dream about achieving goals that seem impossible in waking life, receiving recognition for work you haven't started yet, or experiencing joy and fulfillment that motivates you to pursue paths you hadn't considered. The Hall of Possibilities also allows your soul to coordinate with other souls who will play important roles in your future. That chance encounter that changes your life, that perfect timing when exactly the right opportunity appears. These aren't coincidences. They're carefully orchestrated meetings that were planned during your soul's visits to this dimension. If you're someone who has vivid dreams about the future, or who often knows things before they happen, or who has uncanny timing with opportunities and relationships, your soul might be particularly skilled at accessing and remembering information from the Hall of Possibilities. But even if you don't consciously remember these visits, they're still happening. Your soul is still participating in planning your future, still receiving guidance about your path, still coordinating with other souls to create the experiences that will serve your highest growth. And this brings us to perhaps the most profound dimension your soul visits during sleep, a realm where it connects directly with departed loved ones who are eager to maintain their relationship with you. If you've been having dreams or experiences that feel like more than just dreams, prophetic visions, visits from people you've lost, or guidance that seems to come from beyond your own mind, I want to hear about it. Share in the comments what you've experienced during sleep that felt like something more than ordinary dreaming. When you acknowledge these experiences, it helps our entire community recognize the spiritual reality of what happens during sleep. And if your sharing shows genuine spiritual openness, I'll mark it with a heart to honor your courage in exploring these mysteries. The Reunion Dimension. The third realm Edgar Cayce revealed is what he called the Reunion Dimension, a space where your soul maintains active relationships with loved ones who have passed from physical existence. Have you ever had a dream where you spent time with someone who had died, and it felt so real that you woke up feeling like you'd actually been with them? where they seemed completely alive and healthy, where you had meaningful conversations, where they gave you comfort or guidance that you desperately needed. That wasn't your imagination creating wishful fantasies. That was your soul actually meeting with these departed souls in a dimension where death doesn't create separation, only a change in the form of relationship. In the reunion dimension, consciousness meets consciousness without the limitations of physical bodies. Your grandmother who passed away isn't gone. She's simply existing in a different state of being, and during sleep, your soul can travel to where she is and spend real time together. These reunions serve multiple purposes. Departed loved ones often have messages they need to share, guidance they want to provide, or simply love they want to express. Your soul provides them with a way to maintain their connection to you and to continue participating in your life even though they're no longer physically present. But these meetings aren't one-sided. Your soul also brings comfort to departed loved ones by sharing what's happening in your life, updating them on family news, and assuring them that they're still loved and remembered. Death doesn't end relationships. It just moves them to a different dimension. Cayce discovered that some souls are natural mediators who spend significant portions of their sleep time in the reunion dimension, serving as messengers between the living and the dead. These people often wake up with messages for other family members, information about how departed loved ones are doing, or guidance that seems to come from beyond their personal knowledge. The reunion dimension also allows your soul to receive healing from departed loved ones who have gained wisdom and perspective from their transition to spiritual existence. That parent who was difficult during physical life might become a source of unconditional love and support from the spiritual side. That friend who died young might return with insights about life's purpose that they couldn't access while alive. Sometimes the meetings in the reunion dimension involve departed loved ones helping to prepare your soul for your own eventual transition. They familiarize you with spiritual realms, teach you about life after death, and help reduce any fear you might have about your own mortality. These experiences explain why some people report feeling completely comfortable with the idea of death, even though they've never had any near-death experiences. Their soul has been visiting spiritual dimensions during sleep and learning that death is simply another form of existence rather than an ending. But the reunion dimension isn't limited to personal relationships. Your soul might also meet with spiritual teachers, guides, and evolved beings who have been overseeing your development across multiple lifetimes. These meetings provide spiritual education that supports your growth in ways that physical life experiences alone couldn't accomplish. The creative laboratory. The fourth dimension Edgar Cayce revealed is the creative laboratory, a realm where your soul experiments with ideas, solutions, and innovations that can transform your waking life. Have you ever gone to bed struggling with a problem and woken up with the perfect solution? Ever had a creative breakthrough come to you in a dream? Ever felt like you received inspiration or ideas that seemed to come from somewhere beyond your normal thinking? Your soul was working in the creative laboratory, a dimension where consciousness can manipulate reality like an artist working with clay, where problems can be solved through direct experiential understanding rather than logical analysis. In this realm, your soul has access to what Cayce called universal intelligence, the cosmic mind that contains all knowledge and all solutions. Instead of being limited to your personal experience and education, your soul can tap into the wisdom of ages and the innovations of the future. Many of humanity's greatest discoveries and inventions have come through soul visits to the creative laboratory during sleep. Scientists who make breakthrough discoveries often report that the solution came to them in a dream. Artists and musicians frequently describe receiving their greatest works through inspiration that felt like it came from beyond their personal creativity. But the creative laboratory isn't just for genius-level innovations. Your soul uses this dimension to solve everyday problems, improve relationships, develop new skills, and create opportunities for growth and fulfillment. Your soul might experiment with different approaches to a relationship problem, testing various responses to see which ones lead to healing and understanding. It might explore career possibilities you haven't consciously considered, experiencing what it would feel like to pursue different paths. It might develop creative solutions to financial challenges or health issues that your waking mind couldn't conceive. Sometimes your soul brings back specific instructions from the creative laboratory. You wake up knowing exactly what steps to take to solve a problem, exactly what to say in a difficult conversation, or exactly what creative project to pursue. Other times you return with general inspiration and confidence that solutions exist, even if you don't consciously remember the details. The creative laboratory is also where your soul participates in humanity's collective evolution. Advanced souls often work on solutions to global problems, contribute to scientific and spiritual breakthroughs, and help develop innovations that will benefit all of humanity. If you've ever felt like you have ideas or insights that seem beyond your personal knowledge, if you've received creative inspiration that felt like a gift from somewhere else, or if you've had breakthrough moments that transformed your understanding, your soul might be particularly active in the creative laboratory. The Healing Sanctuary. The fifth dimension your soul visits is what Edgar Cayce called the Healing Sanctuary, a realm where spiritual healing occurs on levels that physical medicine cannot reach. You've probably noticed that sleep has remarkable healing properties. Injuries heal faster when you're well rested. Emotional pain often feels less intense after a good night's sleep. Mental clarity returns after rest, and spiritual perspective often emerges from dreams. But according to Cayce, this healing isn't just happening to your physical body during sleep. Your soul is actively participating in healing processes that address the root causes of illness, trauma, and dysfunction on spiritual and energetic levels. In the Healing Sanctuary, your soul works with what Cayce called healing angels, evolved spiritual beings who specialize in different types of restoration. Some focus on physical healing, helping to repair damage and restore healthy function to organs and systems. Others work on emotional healing, helping to process and release trauma, grief, and psychological wounds. Still others provide mental healing, clearing confusion, restoring memory, and repairing damage from stress and negative thinking. And the most advanced healing angels work on spiritual healing, helping souls reconnect with their divine nature and remember their true purpose. Your soul doesn't just receive healing in this dimension, it also learns to become a healer. Many people who feel called to healing professions receive their training during sleep visits to the Healing Sanctuary. They learn techniques that don't exist in physical medicine, develop intuitive abilities to diagnose problems, and receive guidance about how to serve others' healing process. The Healing Sanctuary is also where your soul can receive healing for issues that span multiple lifetimes. Traumas from past lives, karmic patterns that create recurring problems, and soul wounds that affect your ability to love and trust. All of these can be addressed during sleep visits to this healing dimension. Sometimes, the healing work requires multiple visits over weeks, months, or even years. Your soul might be working on releasing a deep pattern of fear that originated in a traumatic death in a previous lifetime. Or it might be healing relationship wounds that have affected your ability to form intimate connections across multiple incarnations. But the healing doesn't just benefit you personally. In the Healing Sanctuary, your soul often participates in group healing work that serves your entire soul family. You might be helping to heal generational trauma that has affected your entire family line, or working to clear collective patterns that impact all of humanity. The Council of Guides. The sixth and perhaps most profound dimension Edgar Cayce revealed is the Council of Guides, a realm where your soul meets with the spiritual beings who have been overseeing your development across lifetimes. Everyone has spiritual guides, evolved souls who have completed their own physical incarnations and now serve to help other souls navigate their spiritual evolution. These guides have been with you since the beginning of your soul's existence, watching over you, providing subtle guidance, and helping orchestrate experiences that serve your highest growth. But most of the time, their influence remains unconscious. They work behind the scenes, creating synchronicities, inspiring intuitive insights, and protecting you from dangers you're not aware of. During sleep, however, your soul can meet with these guides directly and receive conscious guidance about your life path. In the Council of Guides, your soul participates in what Cayce called life planning sessions, where important decisions about your spiritual development are discussed and decided. Your guides help you understand the lessons you're working on, the challenges you've chosen to face, and the opportunities for service and growth that are available to you. These meetings often involve reviewing your progress since your last session, celebrating growth you've achieved, and identifying areas where you need additional support or different approaches. Your guides might suggest new experiences that will accelerate your development, introduce you to people who can help your growth, or arrange circumstances that will provide specific learning opportunities. The Council of Guides is also where your soul receives assignments for service work. Advanced souls often volunteer to help other souls during their physical incarnations, serving as friends, family members, teachers, or healers who provide crucial support at important moments. Your soul might volunteer to incarnate as someone's child to help them learn unconditional love. Or it might agree to play a challenging role in someone's life to help them develop strength and resilience. These service assignments are always made with complete love and mutual consent. Sometimes your soul brings back specific guidance from the Council of Guides. You might wake up with clear direction about decisions you need to make, sudden understanding about your life purpose, or inspiration about how to serve others more effectively. Other times, the guidance is more subtle. You simply find yourself making different choices, being drawn to new experiences, or feeling called to serve in ways you hadn't previously considered. The conscious memory might be vague, but the guidance continues to influence your life in positive directions. The Integration Challenge. Now that you understand the incredible journeys your soul takes every night, you face what EDGAR CAYCE'S called the Integration Challenge, learning how to bring the wisdom, healing, and guidance from your sleep experiences into your waking life. The forgetting that protects your conscious mind from being overwhelmed by cosmic experiences also prevents you from accessing most of the benefits of your soul's nocturnal journeys. But Cayce discovered techniques that allow some of this information to filter through while still maintaining psychological stability. The key is approaching your sleep experiences with conscious intention and respectful curiosity, rather than forcing or demanding access to information your mind isn't ready to handle. Before sleep, you can set gentle intentions to remember insights that will help your waking life. You can ask your soul to bring back guidance about specific questions you're facing, or healing for particular issues you're working on. The key is asking rather than demanding, trusting rather than controlling. Upon waking, spend a few quiet minutes before getting out of bed, allowing any dream memories or insights to surface naturally. Don't force or analyze. Simply be receptive to whatever your soul might want to share with your conscious mind. Keep a dream journal, but focus on the feelings and insights rather than trying to decode every symbolic detail. The most important information often comes through emotional knowing rather than literal imagery. Pay attention to patterns in your dreams and sleep experiences. Recurring themes often indicate areas where your soul is doing intensive work, either healing old wounds or preparing for new growth opportunities. Most importantly, trust your intuitive responses to the guidance you receive. Your soul has access to information and wisdom that your logical mind cannot evaluate or verify. Sometimes you need to act on spiritual guidance even when it doesn't make rational sense. But remember that integration is a gradual process. Don't expect to suddenly have conscious access to all of your soul's nighttime activities. Instead, focus on developing a respectful partnership between your conscious mind and your soul, allowing information to flow naturally rather than forcing awareness that might be disruptive to your daily functioning. The goal isn't to become so focused on sleep experiences that you neglect waking life, but to recognize sleep as an important part of your overall spiritual development that deserves conscious attention and appreciation. The transformation begins now. Understanding what Edgar Cayce revealed about your soul's nocturnal journeys changes everything about how you approach both sleep and waking life. Tonight, when you lay down to sleep, you won't just be going to bed. You'll be preparing for a spiritual adventure that takes you to dimensions of reality most people never know exist. You'll be embarking on journeys to realms of memory, possibility, reunion, creativity, healing, and guidance that can profoundly impact every aspect of your existence. But more importantly, knowing about your soul's nighttime activities transforms how you live during the day. When you understand that you're receiving cosmic education while you sleep, you naturally become more open to the intuitive guidance that filters through during waking hours. When you know that you're meeting with spiritual guides and departed loved ones in other dimensions, you develop greater trust in the synchronicities and meaningful coincidences that appear in your daily life. When you recognize that your soul is actively working on healing and problem-solving while you sleep, you can approach challenges with greater confidence, knowing that solutions are being developed on levels beyond your conscious awareness. And when you understand that sleep is when your soul connects with its true multidimensional nature, you begin to see your waking life as just one aspect of a much larger spiritual adventure. This knowledge also transforms your relationship with death. When you know that consciousness continues to travel through spiritual dimensions after physical death, dying becomes less of an ending and more of a transition to full-time residence in realms you already visit every night. Your loved ones who have passed aren't gone. They're simply living permanently in dimensions you still visit temporarily during sleep. Death becomes not a separation, but a change in the scheduling of your interdimensional meetings. Most profoundly, understanding your soul's nocturnal activities reveals that you are not just a physical being having occasional spiritual experiences. You are a multidimensional consciousness that temporarily focuses part of its attention on physical reality while maintaining constant connection to cosmic wisdom, spiritual guidance, and unlimited creative potential. If this understanding is shifting how you see sleep, dreams, and the nature of consciousness itself, I want to hear about it. Share in the comments how this knowledge is changing your approach to rest and sleep. Let our community know if you're going to start paying more attention to your dreams or setting intentions before sleep, and if this exploration is opening new levels of spiritual awareness about your own multidimensional nature. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our continued journey into these profound mysteries. Share this video with someone who might be ready to understand the true purpose of sleep and what their soul is really doing every night. The Eternal Adventure. As we conclude this exploration into Edgar Cayce's forbidden vision of what your soul really sees while you sleep, I want to leave you with the most transformative truth of all. Sleep isn't unconsciousness. It's expanded consciousness. It's not downtime for your brain. It's upgrade time for your soul. It's not just physical rest. It's spiritual adventure of the highest order. Every single night you become a cosmic traveler, a spiritual student, a multi-dimensional being exploring realms of existence that surpass anything science fiction has ever imagined. You access wisdom that transcends any earthly education, receive healing that surpasses any medical intervention, and participate in planning sessions that coordinate the most important events of your life. The fact that you mostly forget these experiences doesn't diminish their reality or their profound impact on your spiritual development. Your soul is receiving a cosmic education while you sleep, even if your conscious mind remembers only fragments. But now that you know what's really happening during those 8 hours of supposed unconsciousness, you can begin to approach sleep as the sacred spiritual practice it actually is. You can prepare for your nightly journeys with conscious intention, appreciation for the experiences you're about to have, and gratitude for the guidance and healing you'll receive. You can also begin to trust more deeply in the wisdom that emerges in your waking life through intuitive insights, creative inspiration, and sudden understanding of problems that seemed impossible to solve. This isn't random mental activity. It's information your soul is sharing from its nighttime adventures in cosmic consciousness. Tonight, when you close your eyes to sleep, remember that you're not just resting your body. You're launching your soul on the most important journey it will take in any 24-hour period. You're traveling to dimensions where time and space work differently, where thought becomes instant reality, where love connects you to every soul you've ever known across all of eternity. You're meeting with guides who have been watching over you since the beginning of your existence. You're reuniting with loved ones who continue to care about your happiness even after their physical death. You're accessing libraries of cosmic knowledge that contain answers to questions you haven't even learned to ask yet. You're participating in the creation of your future, the healing of your past, and the fulfillment of your soul's deepest purpose for incarnating in physical reality. This is who you really are. This is what you really do every night. This is the magnificent, multi-dimensional spiritual being you've always been, even when your waking mind convinced you that you were just an ordinary person, living an ordinary life. There's nothing ordinary about you. There's nothing ordinary about your sleep. And there's nothing ordinary about the cosmic adventure your soul embarks upon every single night. Welcome to the truth about your spiritual nature. Welcome to understanding the real purpose of sleep. Welcome to recognizing yourself as the eternal, multi-dimensional being you've always been. Sweet dreams take on an entirely new meaning when you understand that they're actually cosmic journeys to realms of infinite possibility, healing, wisdom, and love. Your soul knows where it's going tonight. Trust its guidance, appreciate its adventures, and wake up tomorrow knowing that you've spent the night exploring the very heart of spiritual reality itself. The forbidden vision isn't forbidden anymore. It's your birthright as a consciousness having a temporary physical experience while maintaining eternal connection to the vast multidimensional reality that is your true home. Sleep well, cosmic traveler. Your soul has important work to do in dimensions beyond anything your waking mind has ever imagined. And that work begins the moment you close your eyes and allow your soul to remember what it really is and where it really belongs in the infinite expanse of cosmic consciousness. The adventure awaits every single night.